telling Charlie, well, first of all, you want to see? You want to see? Yeah. Sit down, it's fine. Well, before I start about YouTube ads and everything, I wanted to just let you guys know that I was telling Charlie over there in the back room that I've been to 25 different places. I've paid $68,000 to go to Masterminds. At one point was in 3 of the biggest masterminds in the entire industry: Old Wardens, Sam Ovens, and War Room. Actually, it's no longer even Masterminds. Yeah. And because I've been to so many masterminds, I've learned from so many different people and met so many different people as well. But I was telling Charlie that this mastermind here that we're at today is something that you guys should not overlook. Because of
He's not paid, by the way.
Yeah, Charlie didn't ask me to say this. I'm saying this just out of genuine, my heart, because this is what I live for, right? I live to be able to mastermind and connect with like-minded individuals, because that's ultimately what allows us to grow, right? But this mastermind in its current form, in my opinion, is going to be the next best quantum mastermind, which was Sam Ovens' mastermind, of how this feels. And there's a lot of killers in this room too, so I just want to give a round of applause to Charlie. Team, like you guys are doing a phenomenal job, and this is just the first edition of it. So you guys should be proud. That's what I wanted to say.
Thank you, man.
100%. Yeah. Okay, cool. So obviously, the way that I think this should work as well, just like Dave planned this, is to survey the room and see what you guys want to learn about YouTube ads specifically. Because like I said earlier, right, we can get tactical, we can get into the creative process, we can share more about how we helped Easy grow on their team, obviously Charlie and Bo and everyone else, to do the numbers we just talked about. But I want to hear from you. What do you guys want to learn? Because I can also talk about our agency as well if you want. But
how do you dress it on?
I made a video on it. It's on my YouTube channel.
What would be okay? You go first. I was going to say, would you say like the concept around the YouTube ads is it very different for the different niches? For example, let's say remodelers versus agencies and consultants. Is the premise around the difference? And also margins.
Okay, so basically, like, does the strategy change depending on each?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like the skeleton of creating the perfect ad. Creation is very different for different niches, or is YouTube ads kind of similar with different creators?
Yeah, good point. Okay, creative strategy, and let's just put niche specific. All right, what else?
When is it best to run YouTube ads? What type of business? What for? Does it work for everybody?
Yeah, okay, niche specific, when to start, that's a good point.
Yeah, running ads for yourself versus like for your clients.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Brian did it.
Yeah, okay.
I think also like who is it good for? Is there like a best fit? Does the info part obviously that works
Yeah.
very well? Can it be used for other stuff as well?
Yep.
Conceptually, like your best experiences. If somebody's coming to you saying I'm this, and this, and you go, okay, it's perfect.
Okay.
And it'll be good to know what to shoot for in terms of CPA or
KPIs.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
So like basically for my clients it's all like it's kind of like weird because like we really built a pretty hard organic strategy. So the thing is, when I'm selling basically 0 to 100K, I would pilot $1,500 products, and I see no friction through the market. I just don't know how to retarget that in ads.
Can you say that again? I'm sorry.
So basically we run organic YouTube, right, and we send traffic from the YouTube to the landing page. Literally it's a VSL XCTA. And everyone signs up, like it's not everyone obviously, but it sells very easily, very easily. I just don't know how to leverage that with ads. Like I'm doing retargeting.
Yeah.
I'm doing retargeting stuff, but because it's a way different strategy, I just don't know how to keep like what to do new. I'm literally just like sending back traffic to the landing page. That's all I'm doing.
Gotcha.
And it still converts, but yeah, I don't know if that's too simple or I could do something else.
Yeah. Is that all you've done so far? Just that?
Literally 0 to
Like
500
one creative, and it's working, and then and then
done.
okay, cool. Anything else?
Were you not asked to start a personal brand?
No.
That doesn't know why.
Yeah, I can touch more about that as well. Let's start there. Is there anything else before we go? First one?
Maybe your process as to like testing different ads, shooting different ads, so how that works.
Yeah, creative testing. And Jesus, actually, if you want to speak on it a little bit too, because we've been building a really comprehensive creative testing system that I can honestly talk about with Charlie and Bo specifically.
I was thinking how to actually script the ads.
Yeah. Yeah, create strategy. And
I guess I have to script.
It's going to take a whole lesson.
Yeah, I know. All right, so let's start with the niche and the offers. I think that's where we start, because with YouTube ads, right? Ads come after you have the offer, right? You don't run ads until you have a proven offer and a funnel that's currently converting. So when it comes to when to start, I've always given the advice to clients when they come to work with us, and they say, I want to start running ads. And, we dive into their metrics, their business, their offer, their funnel, and their success. If they're doing less than 30K a month, I just don't advise them to do any YouTube ads. The reason why is because if you're not making at least 30K a month organically with your offer, in my opinion, from my experience and doing this for over 5 years now, it's just not ready to be, you're just not ready to basically throw money at ads. You should scale at least to 30K a month before you even think about running ads on YouTube. Now when it comes, and the reason why is because look, when it comes to hiring an agency like us, for example, which we're pretty expensive, and then obviously when you want to run ads, you have to have a big budget, right? A budget means, for us, who here is looking at high ticket? High ticket, everyone. Low ticket. Anything to push now? Okay, but mainly I do.
Yeah, well, what's the
High ticket, 5 to 10K.
This is what you guys will do the other calls.
Yeah.
So the handshake.
Yeah, 5K plus. Agency service could be high ticket as well, depending on your LTV, but I would say high ticket's 5 to 10K plus. Low ticket would be, anything that's like an annual product offer. Mid ticket's maybe like 1 to 2K, right? Sort of like a webinar style thing. Because you need at least $5,000 for 3 months to be able to test YouTube ads, especially if you sell high ticket. So if you sell a $5,000 offer, for example, you want to have at least $5,000 to spend in a month to be able to justify running ads, right?
So 15K.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you want to have a budget stockpiled of that amount. The reason why is for two things. Number one, so you can actually test for 90 days and have significant data to go off of, right? Because like we talked about earlier, if you have a small data set and you make decisions based off ads, it's going to be ultimately very emotional for you if you just spend a couple $100 and you're just changing everything, right? The second reason, before you go out, I'll let you go. So the second reason why you want to have a budget stockpile of $5,000 for 3 months is because you want to be able to approach it with confidence that I'm going to see this all the way through, and I'm going to be able to let the algorithm do what it does best and test my creative strategy before I make emotional decisions because I don't have enough budget, right? So you don't go into this and say, I'm going to do $500 and see where it stands, and then we'll see where we go from there. You want to have a budget of $15,000 stockpile. Now again, that goes to the 5K basically kind of offer, right? So if you have to sell a $5,000 high ticket info product or service, like Charlie and Bo are recommending to downsell as it done with you, you want to spend at least $5,000 a month for 3 months.
Does that also go to Facebook?
Yes, it applies in my opinion to every single platform. Yeah, because again, advertising is at its purest form, adding fuel to an already lit fire. You cannot spend on ads unless you've already proven your offer and funnel to the marketplace and you've got clients successfully. You should not. You have to validate your offer and funnel. And so when you validate your offer and funnel organically and then you try to validate it on ads on YouTube, Facebook, whatever the platform may be, that's a whole nother learning curve. Because now you're getting people into your funnel that don't know you, don't really like you yet, and they don't trust you. So it's a completely different sales process, and you have to make sure you validate at least your offer and your messaging organically first. So if you're at 30K a month, I consider that when you can consider starting to run YouTube ads. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that answers the when to start question. But in terms of the best offers in niche, so there's really, I'll give you a perfect example, right? We have a client in our mastermind actually who is an agency owner and they run ads in the German market. And the German market is very, very unsophisticated in terms of what's working right now. They're like 3 years behind. And so they came to me and said, hey, like, what is the best offer for YouTube ads? We have this client right now that, he wants to help car dealerships. And we're wondering if YouTube ads would be a good platform to target car dealership owners. In Germany, I asked them, how many car dealerships are there? And, just off a little bit of research, we found that there's maybe like 250 to 300 car dealership owners, right? Because most of them have multiple car dealerships. And so, let me ask you guys, right? If your target market is 250 to 300 people, would you run YouTube ads?
No.
No. What?
Too small. It's not full.
CPAs will be super.
You also need to see.
Yeah.
But there's a algorithm push them through.
They'll run and they will spend, but you will not get car dealership owners in your funnel. They will not come in there, and if you do, you'll spend a fuck ton of money to get them, and it'll cost you a fuck ton of money as well. And it'll take so much time to be able to get one car dealership owner. You're better off doing what Charlie told yourself earlier, right? With the personalized personalization, hyper-personalization for omnipresence, yes. Direct mail, personalized link videos across their social media channels, but not YouTube ads. So the point being, your total available market needs to be, in my opinion, at least 100,000 plus. At least 100,000 plus. And that's a very, very minimum too. So, yeah, go ahead.
Just a quick question, just going back for a moment, just in terms of the 5K budget. Do you ever, so what are your thoughts? So obviously, there are two scenarios where I might go YouTube ads, which one could be to acquire customers for myself, and one could be for our clients. If we've got aside a 5K budget, and then nowhere near profitable to the point where we run 5K per month in ads, obviously you have a testing budget to make things more optimal, and you can't expect to get an ROI necessarily on the first month. But if they get no sales, would you write that off as not having a market fit for YouTube? Or would you still advise you go into the 3 months even though you've got such a uphill journey?
Yeah, so this kind of goes into KPIs and metrics and how to read the scorecard, right? So for your example, if you spend $5,000 and there's no sales, well, immediately I go from right to left on the KPI tracking sheet.
This is what was I was going to say about the metric hierarchy thing. So we can just start it off where you start at the end and then you work your way back. So yeah, you just go back.
Great. So do you share a tracking sheet like with them in Easy Group by chance?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys know what a tracking sheet is about these tracking metrics, right? So you start from right to left. Revenue is obviously at the very far right? How much money did you make? Then how much cash did you collect? Right? How profitable were you? That's right, very right. So there's no sales, there's zeros all across the board. Well, to the left of that is obviously where you start seeing cost per lead in the info product space, right? Or cost per call in the info product space. But for you, it would be probably website visitors or order page visitors or how many people actually clicked on the checkout page, right? So then you keep going left, right? If the conversion rates there are not on KPI, and again, forgive me, I'm not too familiar with e-com as much as you would be, but I'm sure I can help you out with more, diving deep into the metrics for e-com. But then you just keep going, right? Is the click-through rate for the ad above a 1.5%? Is the view rate above a 20% on a YouTube app, right? Those are the metrics for the ad. So I'll write those down really quickly, but holistically, right to left. So if you've spent $5,000 on an e-com client's business and there's no sales, you would read it from right to left and you would say, okay, how many people actually went to the checkout page? And then based off your experience and wisdom in that specific market, you would be able to consult with that client and say, well, clearly the ads aren't an issue because we're getting a 1.5% click-through rate. We're getting a 20% view conversion rate. And, by all means, the ad metrics are working. Yeah, it's the actual sales funnel that's not converted. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. It's a similar approach to what we do on Facebook at the moment. If we're not getting sales, which is the main metric, that's the secondary metrics. But then sometimes, even if we was to start getting a few sales, because we are so far from making this a profitable investment, we start looking at the business and understanding, okay, maybe this specific vehicle isn't great for you, and we pivot. So instead of running social media ads, we might take over their email and SMS because that's a more valuable service based on what we see. Yes, we can optimize, yes, we can spend more on testing, but just because we are so far from where we need to be, those marginal gains or even big gains, is not going to get us to where we need to be. And I wonder if you ever decide yourself that YouTube ads isn't a good fit, and instead of waiting 15K for 3 months, if you ever just cut it off and say, look, this actually isn't a good fit, or can you always, in 90 days, turn things around to some degree?
Yeah, you got to also be realistic as well, right? So it is a case-by-case basis. I can give you guys the parameters to go off of. From my experience with e-com, and we've tried e-com 5 different times, back when I was, very beginning, when I was saying that the number one problem we had was we had too many different avatars coming into our service, and the sales process and creative strategy was so different, right? So we had a few e-com people, and what I found was that if their average ticket price for their e-com product was less than $75, YouTube ads was going to be very hard to make work. YouTube ads is more expensive than Facebook ads. YouTube ads is harder to crack than Facebook ads. The reason why is because YouTube ads is a scaling platform. Okay? YouTube ads is the new television, and YouTube ads are the new TV commercials. TV is more expensive, right? It just is. And you have however many billion people watching YouTube videos, but with e-com, the cost per, and just in info in general, the cost per lead, cost per call, cost per sale is going to be more expensive. It's just a better quality buyer as well. Because when you go to YouTube, right, and this is kind of going into the hierarchy of YouTube and why it's so powerful, right? Why do you watch Charlie Morgan's channel?
He gives the right value for it.
Okay, value. So so when you're watching his channel, you feel like you're getting value, right? And it's educational. You're going there to learn, right? The quality of intent is already there. You're learning something from someone like Charlie because you want to learn how to get more clients, right? So you go to YouTube to search for how to get clients as an SMMA agency, right? Your intent is to learn, and you're also on YouTube to be entertained. That's why Thomas is really successful at what he does as well, because he combines those two. He creates entertaining videos that educate his audience on how to make better decisions. So the quality of lead and customer is better, but it's also more expensive. YouTube ads is a little bit harder to work than Facebook ads, which is why if you can get Facebook ads to work first, you validated that you can get it on YouTube. Because you validated that it can work in cold traffic, it'll just be a little bit more expensive. So for your specific question, if we've spent $5,000 and I've read the metrics from right to left, and I still wouldn't cut it off right there. Because let's say it is working on Facebook, for example, right? Then I would have a conversation with the client and I would say, okay, clearly there's an issue with the landing page. We're going to make optimizations to that, right? And we're going to relaunch the ads to see if that can improve the bottleneck of the campaign, if that's the bottleneck, for example. And at that point, we might do new ads depending, but if it's just the bottleneck of the landing page, we'll relaunch. If we then spend another $5,000 and it's still the same results, but we're getting a higher return on ad spend on Facebook, we would just shift more budget there and spend a lesser budget on YouTube ads and try to just remarket basically to the already existing traffic going on the organic side or the Facebook ad side, just to prime the ad account for scale if it would ever work in the future. But I think what would answer your question better is the offers, okay? So in the question of the total achievable market here, when it comes to the German car dealership owners, TAM's way too small. Right, so now, Thomas, you had a good question to me yesterday. You were like, okay, well, my dad has this golf offer that he wants to launch where he wants to teach people how to do a better golf swing. Do you guys think it's a better market to run YouTube ads on?
Yeah.
Why?
It's huge.
Everyone plays golf, right? Like a lot of people play golf. I try to play golf. No, I definitely have to buy it. Yeah, when I started learning how to play golf, because successful people play golf, right? So I hit it far and straight. I took a few lessons, which is what Thomas's dad's course is going to be about, how to swing and hit the ball better. And then once you learn how to hit the ball far and straight, you realize that's not even half the battle. The hardest part is getting the fucking ball on the green into the fucking hole, which is a whole bunch of patience and stuff. So point being is that is an offer that will scale because the total addressable market is at least 10 million at the very minimum, I would imagine, people that play golf around the world. So when you're looking at YouTube ads in terms of niche, you really just have to see the total addressable market. Is it less than 100,000? It might not be the best platform to start ads with. Doesn't mean you can't run ads on YouTube for it, just might not be the best platform to start first. Does that make sense?
So you want proof of concept on organic and ideally another advertising platform?
If the total addressable market is that small.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you can find 100,000 people on Facebook. A lot easier and quicker for less budget than YouTube.
Is there like, so you say if it's under 100,000 each start, where would you just completely be like, no, it's not going to go on YouTube, regardless of if it's validated on another platform?
Well, the better way to explain it would be like different case studies, right? So, we had another, potential client come to work with us, and their niche was just so hard to I just knew it was going to be so hard, and it's going to not work as fast as they would have liked, given that they're only making like $20,000 to $30,000 a month and want to learn how to run YouTube ads. It was a holistic health practitioner coach that wanted to teach other holistic health practitioners who already had like at least 10 clients, but they ran their own business, and it was like specific on like deep tissue massage. It was like really, really niche. It's probably even worse than that. I'm butchering it right now. But it was maybe 25,000 people. And I just told her on the sales call, I was like, you're better off going on Facebook or just doubling down on organic than doing YouTube ads. Because it's just not going to be worth your time or budget spent on YouTube. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know, something gets, so yeah, so basically, you just got to address the total addressable market. YouTube ads is a scaling platform. I'll say it again because the reason why Charlie and Bo and Easy Grow is working so well on YouTube, he already had 20,000 plus subscribers on YouTube. He was already doing 500K a month or so, probably more, when we worked with him, right? And now he's doing more, but it was already validated to a highest point, and the addressable market was just so big. So anything less than 100,000 is a good guideline. Does that kind of answer everyone's question?
I have a quick follow-up. So large market, but hard to target with like specific targets. You can't say Amazon owner, right? So if you're going based on a list, is there a list size minimum that you want within that 100K?
Can you base it on this? You can't base it, well, you say base it on this.
I think you mean like list Facebook ads.
Yeah, like,
Oh yeah, so that's the problem with YouTube ads, in a good way and a bad way. So with Facebook, you just upload a list, right? With YouTube ads, you need to spend at least $30,000, and you need to be in good standing for at least 90 days.
okay.
So you can't just upload a list.
Got it.
But once you get past that threshold, let's say, you can then upload a list and your market's back. The easiest way to, so like, let's just say you have a client right now, for example, that has a small total addressable market, but they're already running ads on Facebook. What I would do is I would approach it with the strategy of remarketing. So retargeting, someone asked that as well, right? The easiest thing you can do is start retargeting to the already existing traffic you have coming into their funnel or their business with YouTube ads. That's maybe a couple $100 a day, right? 100, 200, 300. And you'll spend and you'll go after people that already are familiar with the brand and the product and the service, and that'll get you low-hanging fruit. You can start broadening out from there, but that's the best way to approach YouTube is from a remarketing play. Because again, YouTube ads is not just YouTube ads, right? Like there's an ecosystem here. You know, you have YouTube ads right here at the top. These are video, but then over here you have, sort of discovery ads, right? Let's just put discovery. These are clickable image ads that are basically like the similar congruent of Facebook. And then you have search ads, Google search. And I'm talking about the entire ecosystem of Google ads because Google owns YouTube, right? And so Google ads, YouTube ads is Google ads. Inside of Google ads, you can do YouTube ads, you can do discovery ads, you can do Google search, and you can obviously have Google shopping. So regardless of if you can't get YouTube ads to work, you can still use the ecosystem to help your clients with Google ads. And at the very center here, you have Google ads. Does that make sense? Yeah. So if it was me, and again, I was approaching YouTube ads for a client that has a total addressable market that's really small, I would first start remarketing with YouTube ads, discovery ads, and Google search. The lowest hanging fruit anyone can do right now for their clients, if they're not already, that'll make them more money, is just running a Google search campaign with their branded keywords, their company name, their product name, their high ticket offer name. For example, if it was Charlie Morgan, right? Like one campaign in Moncada that's obviously crushing the most is Google search at Charlie Morgan's name. Those people are already searching for him. We have an ad popping up to the top of the search results that says, here's how to get this many clients, Charlie Morgan. They're gonna click on that, they're gonna go to the funnel, they're gonna go to the call, they're gonna buy. They have intent. If you're not running any Google search ads, that's the one campaign I would do for all of your clients right now.
For everybody.
Everybody.
Regardless of how much traffic they've got coming into their business.
Yeah.
Me, for example, pretty anonymous, we get our clients through cold email. Would it be, even though we're doing high volume cold email, would you recommend in that instance that we do a low budget Google search campaign, just so that we are?
You can actually look and see if anyone else is bidding on their keyword, their name.
Okay.
Because if your company name or your client's company name and you go to incognito on Google search and you type in their company name, if someone else has an ad, that means someone else is bidding on the name.
Okay.
So someone's already stealing that traffic from them. You're just giving your ad placement at the top of the real estate to be able to say, I'm gonna take this traffic back to my company now that is technically searching for me.
How much do you put in terms of budget? What do you allocate to do?
$500 a month,
Okay.
just for that campaign.
Not,
Yeah.
not, they're just $500.
Yeah, because
If it's
if,
not that much.
yeah, the cost per click wouldn't be too much, if there's not much search volume
Yeah.
either. But if it's like, you're targeting like real estate agents or something, you want to get like a $50 cost per click, then it might be a little bit more expensive. Okay, so niche specific, does that answer the niche specific one?
Got one for you. So my niche is online fitness coaches. There's a couple of big players doing kind of what I do. They have their courses, things like this. We don't see any of them advertising on YouTube. I know from working with some of their previous clients that they've tried to crack YouTube and they've struggled. How much of that should I kind of take into consideration, or maybe they just didn't do it right, or like?
So basically, it's like the previous people didn't get it to work.
And I know currently they definitely don't advertise on YouTube. They definitely advertise on Facebook, Instagram. That seems to be where the target market hangs out more. And I know they've struggled to grow their YouTube, but that might be for many reasons, right? That could be for whatever. We just wondering how much of that should I kind of look at and be like, maybe it's not the right place for it, because I'd love to crack it. But I'm not sure.
Yeah, in that case, I would validate it on Facebook first and then go to YouTube. Like, it's like when you guys were running on Imperium, right? Did you ever advertise your clients? Did you ever advertise to get gym owners on YouTube? Yeah.
Oh wait, on YouTube? Oh no, don't.
And neither did Alex Ramosi.
No.
He was only on Facebook, I think.
Yeah.
So in that case, right, there's a similarity. And Alex Ramosi was also, he also said that he didn't advertise on YouTube because he couldn't get it to work. His target market wasn't on YouTube as much as they were on Facebook. It was easier to get them on Facebook. So again, it's like for him, gym owners, I think there's only 60,000 people that he was going after.
Yeah.
So again, it's that less than 100,000 sort of parameter. So you would want to validate it on Facebook first.
Yeah, so the market that I'm going after is huge. It's just on like fitness coaches, so there's tons of them. But what do you guys think in terms of, like, would that be a bad use of time to try and grow a YouTube channel, considering the amount of time that would go in to actually doing it? If I've seen other people fail.
What, organic?
Yeah.
I'd say it.
Yeah.
Organically,
You don't need you don't give your audience to do damage.
Sure.
2,000 subscribers, you can churn out like 30 grand with.
Mosey still had a channel at 31 years with 500 subscribers. Uploading every week.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a client right now, Ruben Brooks. He teaches online personal training. He teaches personal trainers how to go online, right? Like online coaches, right? Basically online fitness coaches, so a little bit more specific as well. And he's at 30,000 subscribers just on that specific niche. And his YouTube ads are working because he's proven it already with that specific message and that offer.
Do you need the channel to do the ads?
No. A lot of our clients in the very beginning, nowadays it helps tremendously, but you don't need one. When we were first starting off, like a lot of clients, like we had, for example, Roland Frazier, who's the co-founder digital marketer. He had maybe 2,000 or 3,000 subscribers. So he had a channel, right? But not many subscribers. Wasn't posting at all. But, he didn't have a big following at all online, and he was still able to get it to work because of his offer. His offer and his messaging was proven.
I was gonna say, like, this is gonna be a bit bad, but like running ads from your main channel from afar all the time.
So this is gonna get heated if we're not doing it.
And then you contextualize this point. So Benji was doing our organic YouTube for a while.
I was here.
Benji was doing our organic YouTube, and then Benji found out that because we've got the YouTube channel, and then we were running ads through Brian's company through the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And the point Benji made was like, everyone knows what happened to Facebook pages back in like 2016. Like a business could make a post on the Facebook page, and then it would blow up. They'd get like, all this organic traffic. And then what Facebook did is they started restricting organic growth, so business had to spend on marketing too.
And exactly the same thing happened.
So apparently the same thing is true with YouTube, where like if you're running a YouTube channel and you're paying 80 grand a month to YouTube, they're incentivized to restrict your organic reach, and also, I'm going to side with Benji's slide, right? Is like what it does is it reduces your average view duration for all of the videos. So the most that we get, if let's say we get 40,000 views a day for the ads, that's like 80% of our views are coming from ads, right? And the ads that people watch, they only stick around and watch the ads for like 33 seconds. So the average view duration for the entire channel plummets, which then means that when you post an organic video, it doesn't do as well. At the same time, like we're making videos now, even though we're still running ads from the channel, the videos are doing fine. But like, yeah, so we transitioned to a new channel, but the ads aren't doing as well. It's not my channel, so you've got this sort of thing to balance between like organic and
Well, the thing is, like, in your specific case, it's like a very specific case. So if it's like a channel, there's 30 people, 30,000 people, it's very niched. The main thing that I was thinking, like, everyone in the room. So if you start like a person where you have like 2,000 people, you don't have that big much of an outlet, so you just retarget from outside, like from a different channel to the main channel.
Yeah.
In your specific case, you're just too big to, play with. So should I keep doing the ads and the hurts, or should I?
Well, I made the point where like I think you've got a lot of clients where you do run their ads from YouTube and they still do well on YouTube. Yeah. And I also looked at like Iman and a bunch of people.
Yeah.
They run ads on separate channels, so it seems like it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. It's not like it's a killing thing. It's just more like a
Restricted.
performance thing. It makes things better. So it's not killing, but it makes it better.
Here's the pitch, right? The pitch is, can you run ads from your organic channel and will it affect the growth? From what we've done with clients that have 1.6 million subscribers, for example, my friend Clark Kegley, spending thousands of dollars on ads, didn't hurt his growth. He was also still consistent with his content. He was also still making good videos, right? So it didn't inhibit his growth. In my opinion, it actually helps because with YouTube, right? Charlie's points are very valid, 100%. It just depends personal preference. The easiest way around it is you just create a second channel specifically for ads. You can name it whatever you want. So Charlie Morgan, business, right? And then you can upload the same ads onto that second channel. You can link both channels to your ads account, right? So you have your organic channel linked to your account. You have your ads channel linked to your account. And what you can do now is you can run ads from your second channel, but you can create remarketing lists from your main channel. So one of the best campaigns that we launched with to start with Charlie, and this is the strategy I pitched to them as well, is like, look, why would we go cold first? When the easiest low-hanging fruit for us is creating an audience of his YouTube subscribers, audience of his YouTube video viewers, audience of anyone who's ever added a video of Charlie's to a playlist on their YouTube channel, like really engaged prospects. But it wouldn't hurt his performance, right, theoretically, if he ran it from his ads channel, because the ads are being ran from the second channel. We're just connecting the main channel to the target.
Yeah, that's what I was.
So that's the solution.
So he's pulling data from the organic channel to then use in the ads. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
You can create remarketing lists from your organic channel to use in your campaigns and ads, but you're not running ads from your main channel. You're running ads from the second.
That's what we do now.
Can you remove the people that have ever booked a call?
Yeah, you just exclude another audience that's people that have booked a call in the last 100 days, 180 days, whatever the parameters are.
And that data is on YouTube.
Yeah, well,
Do the links and stuff.
the data would be in your Google Analytics account.
Okay.
So you would have to connect Google Analytics to your website, make sure you have that on your just basically the pixel. Then you can create audiences of people who booked a call, landed on this specific page, and you exclude them from your campaigns.
Is it not easy for Google to figure out what you're doing?
Say it again?
It's not easy for Google to figure out what you're doing.
With the second channel? Yeah, but I don't think they care as long as they're getting money.
Yeah, they're making money.
The argument here is this. Does YouTube ads affect your organic growth? What we've learned is from the reps that we've worked with who've helped us spend millions of dollars on YouTube, they say no. In fact, it would only help. And the reason why is because YouTube ads now are responsive. Responsive means you can't just skip, they're not just the ones you can skip in the feed, right? The ones that play before radio ads. They're that, plus they're the ones that show up in feed when you're scrolling, right? It looks like a regular YouTube video. But when you click on that ad, you go to a regular, you basically watch that video as if it was a YouTube video, but it's an ad, right? And so if they go to that video as an ad and they watch it and there's no description, no comments, no social proof on that channel, right, which they can click on, it looks a little bit sketchy. So to avoid that, you just run from your main channel. But if you want to avoid the headache of potentially hindering your growth, you just create a second channel. The problem with the debacle that we had was that we were already just crushing it with this organic channel. And
Sorry.
and I told them, because you guys wanted to make the switch fast. Like, you know, when you
I was like, hang on a minute, let's just do it slowly. And I was like, fine.
because I've just done this for so long. So what I told them, I was like, look, this is going to be at least a 30-day transition because we're going to get the second channel up. They did a good job because on the second channel, what you want to do is you want to make it look like a reputable channel.
Yeah.
You upload testimonials, you upload case studies, you upload maybe some of your best trainings, right? And you make them all public for people to watch. If they go on that second channel because they clicked your ad, now they're seeing that you're actually legit because you have content. You're not just selling, you're not just selling something. You actually have a brand. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the problem was that we just didn't want to switch it too quickly because we would run into issues because the campaigns were so dialed in that they were performing weekly ad videos on his main channel. So it's been a transition now. Thankfully, we've been closer to getting over that hump and we've actually got it over. I showed Charlie our client wins channel yesterday. It was a 7X for them yesterday. But the point being, if you want to avoid that, create a second channel, upload videos, testimonials, case studies, and link both channels to your Google Ads account. You can create marketing lists or run ads from your second channel.
Can you upload the same videos from the main channel onto the second?
No, because then they get,
Where do you shoot those? Where do you shoot
well,
those?
no.
Yeah.
Because if someone, YouTube will know because like if someone just uploads the content that you've already made, like they tell you like this is a copyright strike,
Yeah.
and then what they do is they just restrict it.
So you must essentially edit it in a little bit different manner.
Yeah, but
Like, I mean, the testimonials that you would upload to the second channel, would it be?
well, the testimonies aren't the main channel anyway, so easily enough to cover it. But like, it doesn't.
Did you make separate videos for the second channel?
No, we just uploaded every single testimonial the client did.
Oh, okay.
And then
What is the channel name?
huh?
What is the channel name? The ads channel?
Where actually know?
I think it's probably more in business. Yeah. The thing is like, it really shouldn't be hard. It should be hard to find actually.
Yeah, so you do
nice.
Yeah. Because that's the whole point, right? Like it's just
like the
that.
videos that we upload, like testimonials, they're not like clicking ones that you would want to click. It's not like we're trying to say like, you know, how Jaden went from 0 to 60K a month before the break now, you know, shit like that. Like
If you
it's
did
just like Jaden's testimonial. No one's,
Yeah.
no one,
If you dig hard enough, you can find it.
Yeah.
You'll get you spend more money, you'll get subscribers.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's not meant for organic growth.
Do you think there's any case in like just branding the ads channel as an ads channel? So like when somebody goes on it, they can just see it's your ads channel.
Not really because they don't understand like this. They're like
It depends on the market too. Like if I was remarketing to marketers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's obviously why cognitively we understand it.
Yeah.
But okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. all right.
that's you can link it to, you can have a link saying, here's my actual YouTube channel.
Yeah.
With them.
And the main bio.
But just being super transparent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this is the
I
second
don't
channel.
know me, I'll just tell you.
Yeah, this is the
You
second
basically
channel.
want to bring out the second channel as much as possible to let them know you're actually legit and you have a brand.
Yeah.
And link them to your main content so that they see, oh, okay.
And you don't see that's an issue there.
No.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's the way around the issue of the organic growth stopping. So,
The only issue is that they might not then biblical.
yeah.
Because they
Yeah, you
might
think it
spend
takes them
the next
out
hour.
because it's giving
Yeah,
them
but
that
that's
avenue.
fine because that if you do it and the content is good, like the book eventually.
Yeah, they're still in the funnel. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Does that answer those questions?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh shit.
Yeah, so it will be.
All right. So, creative strategy. Well, I touched on the offers bit. Does anyone have any more questions about the offers?
I think the creative thing is going to be another issue to you guys asking what we want to know. Because like creative strategy is like how the hell would you break that one down?
Yeah.
So maybe if you guys just like ask, and you shall proceed.
So we should follow up on the offer. So does it have to be as specific as like Charlie has, for example? I've seen some that is like X amount of appointments, X amount, or can it be more broad? I'm assuming specific is better, but I know Jake had a question around like creating that guarantee offer, and it's kind of hard for Amazon. Should we give a range of, 1.5 mil to 2 mil growth, 20% to 40%?
We had a call, didn't
We have a
Yeah. I just recognize, yeah. It's like you said Amazon twice now, I'm like, I know. Yeah. Well, the answer is, right, the more specific, the better the offer, the easier it is going to be to convert, right? If it's more broad, it can work, it's more indirect, right? But then you're basically taking people that are probably lower awareness of like what the business model actually is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you're telling more of a story than it is more of like a direct offer.
Yeah. Got it.
So to answer your question, you can do both. What's going to convert the best? Probably direct first,
Yeah.
right? Guarantee this much,
Yeah.
So all of our ads are just like,
Yeah, because his offer is so good. Like that's why it's a home run. It's like the clients that we work with and get the best results. Like again, they've proven themselves and they have the sales process. They just need more and better leads, more and better leads, and they don't want to fuck around and do it themselves and like figure out the ads and all that stuff.
Yeah. I'm in the same position. It's just I don't have the offer as dialed because it changes for every client. So like some people need PPC, some people need PPC, SEO, and inventory forecasting. Some people need.
But is the result the same?
The result should always be around growth.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what's the average that they grow by?
So I gotta run the numbers there too, because it's not on the product. Some people get like 270% year-over-year growth, and some people are happy with 10%. It's so random. But that also could be back to the conversation, I don't know his name, but of just being too broad as well with who we take on. So maybe there's just too many questions to answer in this setting,
but
but
Napoleon there.
yeah. Well, we're conquering both Moscow and
And did it well.
Yeah, I mean, the answer there would be look at the data, figure out the average return
Okay.
and growth.
Go with that number.
You would use that number in your ads.
Okay, cool.
It would just make it better. So when it comes to the creative, so obviously there's a script writing process, there's the filming process, there's the editing process, and then there's the uploading process. I'm assuming you guys want to maybe talk more about the scripting.
Good question. So because I know I've obviously interacted with all of this thing. Did you learn all of that yourself and then hire people and train them?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So I'll touch on that, it's a good point. So I learned YouTube ads working for Dean Graziosi for almost 3 years. For those of you who don't know, Dean Graziosi was my first mentor. He's been in the online marketing space for like 30 plus years now. And I say online marketing space, it's just a information marketing space for the last 30 years. He was running ads on TV before there was Facebook ads, before there was YouTube ads. He was doing infomercials. Okay, now infomercials are exactly like, where ads on TV are exactly like YouTube, right? Because I got the unfair advantage of learning from someone who had to be so good at advertising that he had to take the average housewife who's walking across the living room and their TV's playing in the background, and then get them to stop what they're doing, whether they're with their kids or they're cooking dinner or they're doing a million different things at the house at once, pick up the phone and call the TV ad to order a book and learn more about this specific offer. So that skill was passed down to me because I got to work with him for 3 years. I saw him film ads day in and day out. We tested one new ad every single week for just one offer. And this is something that I'll talk about, the creative testing system that we were talking about yesterday, Thomas, because I had the unfair advantage of learning from someone who was already a master in marketing, who could just ask me to tell him what the hook is and who he's talking to. And when I would feed him that, he would just film a banger and he would always work. And so I took that process and I tried to boil it down into a very specific step-by-step process. But at the simplest level, it's like, okay, the very best way to script your YouTube ads is take all of your existing assets, right? Your funnel, your client testimonials, your existing emails that are already converting, and you create basically a drive of those, right? A bank. And you use those to then copy and paste into, we have a script template we can give you, and we can use AI now to just make it way easier. I can post that in the Mastermind group. And you guys can write your scripts in like literally 5 minutes for each of your clients, if you want to. And Then that produces your first 5 YouTube ads, right? You have the hook, you have the story, you have the close. That's the framework. So the framework for your ads is hook, right? It's just like YouTube. Hook, story, close. The hook is the first 5 to 10 seconds. Okay, it's all about the hook. So I was, here's a funny story. This will really explain how YouTube ads is so powerful. So my wife and I, Jennifer over there, for those of you guys know, Jennifer, the beautiful wife, we were in Colombia, in the beginning of this year. We were there for 90 days. And I had plans to, so a year before that, we went to Colombia for the first time.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I gotta make sure I did that.
You're on camera.
Yeah. She had LASIK there. How many of you had LASIK eye surgery? Anybody? No. Oh, okay. This story won't hit as much, but you guys all know what LASIK eye surgery is, right? We've probably thought about getting more before if you have glasses, or myself, I have contacts right now. My wife got LASIK eye surgery in Colombia last year because, well, I was with her and she's wore glasses all her life. And she got LASIK, within 24 hours, she had better vision, and she said, still to this day, the best investment she's ever made.
Fast recovery.
Yeah. This time, when we went back to Colombia, I was gonna get LASIK, okay? I had plans, I've been wearing glasses since I was in high school, and, you know, we're going through the tests, the doctor's seeing me, the same doctor that did her surgery, the best in Medellin, which is where we were staying, and we're going through the last and final test, this like machine that's scanning my eyes. And then he notices this little tiny particle in my right eye that says, let's do this machine again. Let's just see if this is a mishap on the machine, or let's just try it again. So we do it again, and there's that still little tiny yellow particle that's in my right eye. And he looks at me and he's like, okay, well, the machine's telling me that LASIK wouldn't be the best fit. Safety-wise, you'd probably be better getting PRK. Anyone know what PRK is? Okay, so LASIK, just so you guys know, is if you get LASIK, they cut a flap in your cornea, the middle of your eye. They laser off a flap. They open the flap. This is your cornea, right? They cut a flap. They open the flap up. They laser the inside of your flap of your cornea, and they make it better, like within like 5 to 10 seconds. They give you perfect vision again. They put the flap back, and then your flap in your cornea heals over time. You can't do MMA, you can't get punched in the face, you can't do that for like at least 3 months to let your eyes heal, right? The recovery time is 24 hours. You can see almost instantly after 24 hours. Your vision's gonna be instantly better. That's why I wanna do LASIK, because I don't have time, I don't wanna waste a week or 2 weeks recovering, because I'm on a computer, right? PRK, which was the method that he recommended to me that was safer, is there is no open of the flap, it's just, we're gonna laser the fuck out of your cornea right here. And this is gonna be burnt off, and then you're gonna have to let it grow back. It's gonna be more painful. It's gonna take 2 to 3 weeks to recover, and you're gonna have a fake contact inside of your cornea to protect it over the next 2 to 3 weeks. So that didn't sound fun. And I was also in a Spanish-speaking country. I looked Hispanic, but my parents didn't teach me Spanish growing up. But I knew Spanish enough to know that like this guy wasn't sure that PRK or LASIK was the best option. He was just like, you know what? I've done this for so long. I think you can get LASIK. And at that point, I felt like he was just trying to make a sale. And so I didn't feel confident about it, right? So I ultimately was thinking about if I should do it or not. That night, I fucking kid you not.
Yeah.
I'm on my phone researching PRK versus LASIK. I'm on YouTube watching videos. PRK versus LASIK. PRK testimonials. PRK results. LASIK, is LASIK worth it? Is there complications? I'm asking my friends, I'm texting them. I'm up at night, I think she's asleep already, and I get hit with a YouTube ad.
No, I heard it. Yeah, I heard it.
This YouTube ad literally says, if you're thinking about getting LASIK surgery, don't before you watch this video. If you're thinking about getting LASIK eye surgery, don't before you watch this video. So what do you think I did? I clicked on the fucking ad. I clicked on the ad, and I went to a sales page. That was a long-form sales page about why LASIK eye surgery is actually dangerous and how you should avoid it because it leads to long-term implications for your eyes, right? Dry eyes, your vision gets worse as you age. You're gonna have to get glasses eventually. Do you guys think I got LASIK that week? No. The reason I share that story is because that's the power of the hook.
What was he selling?
he was selling an alternative way to get your eyesight better. And after doing more research about it, it was basically like a 90-day system to be able to get your eyes back to as close as your perfect vision. But you also had to buy like some supplements and stuff. And I was in Colombia at the time, so I didn't want to do that. And I was just like, okay, well, this is enough to not get, regardless of what he was selling something that was, to me at that specific point, that caused me to not pay this other guy that was going to give me LASIK, and he cost that guy the business.
You remember the name of the company?
For the LASIK?
Yeah,
the guy that was selling the alternative?
it's only the optical space. It's not quite.
I don't know. The page did look outdated as well. I will say that it was like a kind of like a website that's like from 2000s, kind of like a blog style, like Reddit kind of forum. So it kind of looked scammy a little bit, but it worked. It just made me not want to get LASIK. And so I didn't get LASIK. And the point of me sharing that story is because that's how powerful YouTube ads are. I was looking for LASIK versus PRK. I was typing in these keywords on Google and on YouTube, and then I got hit with a fucking ad that was exactly what I was looking for at the right time, and it cost me that bad business. So that's the power of YouTube and Google, because it's a search engine, okay? So the hook needs to be that powerful. Right? That's why with Charlie's and Bo's ads for EasyGrow and for their team, it's very simple. If you're an agency owner, we'll guarantee this many appointments in this many days, or we'll give you your money back. Right? Plus, we'll pay you this much if we don't fulfill that promise. If you're an agency owner and you see that ad, you're going to click that ad because you're like, what is this? You're going to want to learn more about it. So it's all about the hook, 5 seconds of the hook. So that's what I was telling Thomas yesterday with the hook for his creative, for his dad. If I was teaching people how to do a better golf swing, not only would I say, the ad idea I gave him yesterday, I think was pretty sick. It was, okay, so it's going to start off with the target market's improving people's golf swings, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to have a camera set up in front of me right here, if I'm your dad, and I'm going to be like this. And I'm going to make it shank all the way over there. And then I'm going to say to the camera, look familiar? That's the hook. The hook is him hitting the ball terribly, just like I did when I first started, and so I got lessons probably from someone like your dad. And then having it shank all the way and then say, does that golf swing look familiar? Right, Tracer? Yeah, the tracer, so you can see the pathway of the ball too. I have the editor do that. If you're tired of shanking your swing, and you just want to hit it far and straight, keep watching this video and I'll show you the 3 tips you can make immediately to improve your golf swing. Keep watching this video and I'll share with you the 3 tips you can do to improve your golf swing. The hook now calls out the problem, it demonstrates it for them, makes it more relatable, and it says, keep watching so I can give more value to you and teach you how to fix this. Then you go into the story. The story is, by the way, my name's Mr. Garnett. I've been teaching people, I've been teaching aspiring golfers and even professional golfers how to fix their golf swing for years so they can hit it far and straight. I've helped over 1,000 people do this, and on average, I've been able to help each person improve their swing by maybe some sort of data set, right? If you can even write that. But now let's get into how we can help you. The first tip is this: immediately go into education. So you go hook, problem, call out, right? And then keep watching. The story is credibility, 1, 2, maybe 3 sentences max. My name is Brian Moncada. I'm the founder of AdSpin.com. We're the most sought after advertising agency in the entire info marketing industry. We've helped big names like Patrick Bet-David, Cole Gordon, Sam Ovens, Charlie Morgan, Daniel Fazio. And we spent over $50 million on YouTube ads in the last 3.5 years, right? And then I really go into education after that. Quick, concise, to the point, right? Just enough to get them to be like, okay, this guy has me for a little bit more. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So now you go into education mode. What are the 1, 2, or 3 things you can actually teach them in the ad that would actually give them value, regardless of if they click or not? Because again, YouTube ads are supposed to be educational and entertaining. You can just go direct offer, which we do a lot with Charlie and his team because the offer is just so good if you just want to watch the PSL. But the more educational elements you can add to the person who doesn't know, like, and trust you, the more you build that know, like, and trust factor. So what are the 1, 2, or 3 problems they're having? In the golf swing example, it's the first problem that always happens is people don't line up their feet correctly, let's say, for the golf swing, right? So you want to make sure, and he demonstrates this, you want to make sure you're in the middle, you have your hand positioning like this, and the setup, it's basically the setup, right? Your setup has to be fixed. Your setup should look like this. Okay, great. That's the first problem. The next problem is when you swing, how your hips move, for example, right? That could be the second problem. The third swing is taking your eye off the ball. A lot of people, they end up, when they come through on the follow swing, they end up moving their head before they even hit the ball. Keep your head down. Now, once you've done those three things, you've demonstrated it, and you've added value to them, they're like, okay, this guy just helped me immediately. Because that would help all of us immediately if we learned those three things, right? Then the next call to action is, at the end of the story here, and look, if you want to learn more about how you can help, if you want to learn more, I don't even know what the offer is, Thomas, but it would be like, just an example here. I put together, by the way, if this was helpful for you and you want to learn more about how to fix your golf swing, just like all these other people have, I put together a free 5-minute video showing you a few more tips on how you can get access to this other thing. All right, free 5-minute video. I don't really like doing free training too much anymore. I think if I put together a 5-minute video or something like that, if it's a VSL, for example. If it's a low-ticket info product, I put together a brief guide that you can get right here by clicking the link on the ad that shows you this, this, and this, and you do a screen share of what the sales page looks like or the VSL page looks like, so they can see where they're going to click, right? So then it reduces skepticism and scarcity, because a lot of people still don't know what ads are going to take them. They're afraid it's a scam for most of the world. You show them what they're going to click on, and then you say, click the link. And then you basically reduce urgency and scarcity. You say, unless you want to keep shanking balls like this, you show them the pain again. So that way, the next time you're on the course with your coworkers, your boss, or even a potential client, you don't look like a complete idiot. But choice is yours. And then he gets a fucking banger. Boom. That's how I did that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So hook, story, close. Okay. You think about that LASIK example. Think about the example I just shared for Thomas. And then the story is the credibility. So hook, 5 to 10 seconds. Powerful, you're basically doing a call out of your ideal avatar where you're demonstrating the problem, and you're getting them to keep watching. Keep watching. All right, and then the story, you're doing credibility, right? 1 to 3 sentences, just enough, not too much. Then you're doing problem number 1, problem number 2, problem number 3, and then CTA number 1. And then the close, you got urgency, twist the knife. Twist the knife is like, look, unless you want to keep shaking these, these balls on the, your next time you're on the course and making yourself look like a complete embarrassment. And then, that was me, man. It's a perfect product. Twist the knife, and then CTA number 2, right? So that's a basic framework. Now, of course, when it comes to testing this, you can make it shorter, you can make it longer. It really just depends on what your control ad. But the whole goal when you first launch YouTube ads is to find one control ad, then ad that converts and performs the best. Then everything after that, you create variations of that one ad.
Do you have any specific tips on what makes a good hook? So, for example, movement might be one, props might be one, all out, driving doubt within somebody's mind, what would be correlated?
Well, then I'd actually way worse there than I am. But when I started recording ads, because I think I've recorded
At least 30 at this point.
like 50 over the week. And what I do, I think for me, what I understand is editing.
Okay.
So what I'll do before an ad recording section, I'll listen to Cornfield Chase in Interstellar. That song gets me like, Adam Zimmerman, he does something big, right? I'll listen to that. There's a motivational video on YouTube called Why Do We Fall? It's got like 80 million views, like 8 minutes long. I'll listen to that. And then, because here's the thing, you're recording an ad for someone that, and I understand that if they click on that ad and they show up the call, they buy, their life will be completely different. Right? So it's like when you're making an ad, instead of imagining you're making it for everyone, just imagine you're making it for one dude who's miserable, who you can completely help, completely change the trajectory of his life just based on how you approach the ad. So for me, most the Sun Tzu's art of war at the back is one for its sport. The way I see the recording of the ads, I'll listen to it, I'll shut my imagine I'm about to get to a boxing ring or something, and when I turn the camera on, I'm you've probably seen it, I look like I've just done a line or something naughty. His
eyes get wide, bro.
Yeah, no,
That's the secret, then.
that's you can boil the whole talk down and just do cocaine. And then it's extra stuff. But like, if you're like that, you want to invoke in someone the emotional state that you're feeling. And so if you record the ads as like, so I'm going to show you how I'm going to show you how I'm going to help you get so many appointments. Like, they're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And then they feel it. This transfer of emotion.
Dean taught me this as well, right? When I was working for him, he was so good because he said this, and I would write this down. He said, you want to enter the conversation going on in your prospects' heads. You want to enter the conversation going on in your prospects' heads, right? So the conversation that probably was going through a lot of your heads before you even joined Easy Grow was, where the fuck's my next client going to come from? Right? Like, how long is this going to last? How do I get more books calls, right? How do I grow this agency? You want to enter the conversation going on in their head. That's why when he comes out, he just is very direct with the energy, with his eyes wide, as if he just did a line. It resonates because how does this guy have so much confidence to guarantee what I can't guarantee for myself?
They're so doubtful.
So doubtful.
They're so like emotionally like neurotic.
Yeah.
You have to bring them up. It's probably different. If you work with like med spas or something, you probably need to do that.
Yeah. And here's the thing, right? This goes into a little bit of a different. Jesus, when it comes to the editing, for example, right? It almost, it's a little bit second. We can go into this a little bit later too. But like we have a client right now that really talks to more corporate professionals, purpose company, right? Yeah. When we edited it with the same edits as like the typical ad that we would do for a coach, it didn't work, right? And why didn't it work?
You gotta consider like who the person is, right? If it's an older demographic, like the flashier edits aren't really gonna get their attention. But I think that's why it's so important to like understand who you're talking to. That's a foundational conversation is like, who actually is the avatar that you're prospecting? Because now it's easier to put yourself in their shoes and be like, okay, if I was 45 and I was watching an ad, would I want to see all these crazy graphics?
Yeah, emojis, like sound effects.
That's like a Mr. Beast video. Well, I can't even watch them.
But for the market we're going after,
yeah,
they're on TikTok all day just sucking their fucking dopamine. So it's like, dude, you got to get on appointments. You got to send people like moon videos. So it'll work for that.
Yeah. Then they have to watch a 3-hour video. It's like really ruins them.
Yeah. A few of the. So when it comes to like the hook, right? That kind of answers your question a little bit. When I was working for Dean again, I just had the unfair advantage of why it's so easy for us to formulate this and teach our team to do it now, so I don't have to. But with Dean, dude, this guy, you got to get creative too, like as much as you possibly can. To be fair, like their offer is so good, you don't need to be that creative. But Dean was selling a book to everybody who's anybody who wanted to make money. Right? He's competing with people that are flashing checks and stuff, and like Rolls Royces and all this, or like Lamborghinis, where he obviously cares about not getting sued by the FTC, so he has to be very, very, polished, if you will. So I consider him to be the GOAT because he was able to sell personal development with just his emotion, and his hooks would be. I remember one time he came to the office and he had this cryo chamber. Has anyone been in a cryo chamber?
No, I watched it.
Yeah. So he had a cryo chamber in the office, and we would do it every single morning just to get more energy and everything. And we're like, why don't we film an ad in the cryo chamber? So the ad starts off with him next to the cryo chamber, and he says, I'm about to freeze myself at 30 degrees below zero. Watch this. That's a pretty powerful hook,
Here, my garage, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he gets in the cryo chamber. He still has a selfie iPhone video, and then he's talking about, look, it basically just goes into the story like. Look, if you've ever wanted to make more money if you ever wanted to make more money and achieve a side income or start a business and really get to your next level, right? Then you've tried all these other things, blah, 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 blah. He ends up pulling the book in his other hand in the cryo chamber. He has the book and he's pitching in the cryo chamber as the app. Like that's creative as hell, but it was very specific and it was a good story that it got people to continue watching and ultimately buy. That was one of the best performing ads we've ever done. The other one that we did was, this one just worked really well. It was for Roland Frazier, actually, for digital marketer. It was, don't start a business, buy an existing business instead.
I'll just say no.
So that one was really good.
Podcast episode with Ty.
Yeah.
And then here in my garage, he was scripted hassle.
Yeah, he just did it off the cuff.
He was saying that like he was actually planning to do was go out for dinner. Then he was like, oh, then fuck that, I'm just going to do some work. Was walking through his garage. And I thought, you know what, I was going to make that.
Yeah.
And he just Yeah, my garage, I've got these books, and there's no script, no plans.
If you're helping clients with this as well, and this is something that, again, Dean was just a master marketer, so he was always thinking about how he could do this at all times, right? We didn't have to, I learned this from him, but one thing you can tell your clients to do, right? If you write their scripts, you tell them exactly how to read their ads, right? They read the ads word for word. When they're done reading their ads word for word that you've written, or they've written themselves, you then have them film another ad right then and there. Right after they've got the script, the framework, who it's for, the story, the call to action, and you have them film another one. Off the cuff, no script, no teleprompter, just film another one right there. Because they have the flow, they're in the energetic state now, and typically that sixth ad will be the best ad that works. Because it's coming from the heart. It's more genuine, it's more real, it's more raw, and it's not scripted as much. And so the more you can do the habit of the sixth ad that I just talked about right there in your everyday life, like for example, Charlie and Bo, we're definitely going to want to film a few ads today as well, and just in general, or we can obviously put them together with the qual footage. But as you're going throughout your day and you feel inspired, and you really feel happy, maybe you've got 15 client wins like they did for today, right? And they're like, oh, this is sick. That's when you want to just, if you can, get in the habit of filming that. Or you tell your clients to film that. It's got to be a constant process. Because again, we spent $2 million on one funnel for Dean Graziosi that grossed his business over 8 figures, right? The free plus shipping book funnel. We tested a new ad every single week. A total of 127 different ads for one offer in about a 2-year span. And on the front end, helped him make over $2 million on just the free plus shipping book funnel. Most people test one ad, right? 2 ads, 3 ads, 4 ads, maybe even 5 ads. And they let those ads run for 6 months. And then the CPA goes up, the cost per lead goes up, the ROAS goes down, and they're trying to media buy the problem out. They're trying to out-media buy it. It's not the media buying, it's the creative. YouTube ads is a scaling platform, and you scale with creatives.
Is there a YouTube ads library like basically where you can check if everyone's together?
VidTile is one. They also have Google Transparency now. You can actually just search for ads.
You can ask for your own business.
Yeah.
So, okay. And what's your hope?
Well, for this, now that we're going to be downselling the Done With You, we didn't run ads in the past as much. We tested them before because our target market, again, comes from word of mouth and referrals. But now that we're going to be doing the downsell with Done With You, the coaching, the hook that we just wrote for one of our ads is, what do industry leaders like Patrick Bet-David, Cole Gordon, and Sam Evans all have in common? Right, so immediately calling out prolific figures in our space that we all know and have watched some content at one point. Why do industry leaders like Patrick Bet-David, Cole Gordon, and Sam Evans all have successful businesses and brands? Right, or that's an example. And then I say, well, it's not because they're genius. It's not because they're genius marketers, like even though all of them pretty much are. It's because they have high ROI YouTube ads. YouTube ads that help grow their brand and their business and become their best marketing assets. Video ads, just like the one you're watching right now. That's getting you to stop, watch, and learn from how I can help you scale your business, just like we've done for them. My name is Brian Moncada, I'm the founder of
Are you running this now?
Say again?
Are you running it now?
We're launching it next week.
He runs from back to the room with the credit card and buy it.
So basically the hook for us is we're calling out people we've actually worked with.
Yeah.
And then we're saying, why are they so successful? And we're saying it's not because they're master marketers or they're 8-figure business owners, whatever. It's because they have ads that are their best marketing assets that get them a consistent pipeline of leads, calls, and clients. And these become their best marketing assets, right? They grow their brand and their business. And then obviously the pitch is, if you want to learn how to create high ROI YouTube ads, click the link and watch the free training go together with a 5-minute video.
Would you call out the names of the range of clients?
Say again?
Would you call out like brand names that they were in your clients?
Yeah.
Still works.
Yes. Yeah, I mean,
You just find the reason why they're successful.
Sam actually did that with Warren Buffett and Bill Gates.
Yeah, he did. That was one of his
Yeah, brilliant ad.
Yeah.
But Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, the most important thing. Focus on that. The drumming stuff.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
It's almost like credibility and social proof, but you're kind of stealing it.
Yeah, so you just borrow it.
Yeah, borrow it.
Yeah, you just have something else to borrow it.
Yeah. Okay, so that's kind of the scripting process. Did that answer your guys' question on the scripting? Yeah. Because you got that used to that. And as far as the testing goes, right? When it comes to the testing, so let's say you produce ads for yourself or your client, and again, you read from right to left. So if you're making money and you're profitable, you got a 2-3x return on ad spend. You at least want to diagnose the bottleneck in the funnel that can get you more performance. If it's the ads, right? And you're not getting any of the KPIs that we talked about. 1.5% click-through rate, a 20% view rate. Then you want to refresh your ads, and you want to change the hook. You just want to change the hook.
Say it again, sorry.
If you're not getting the front-end ad metrics you need, right, because you've diagnosed that you've read from right to left in the tracking sheet, and the ads are not getting a 1 to 1.5% click-through rate, or the view rate is not above 20%, you want to refresh the hooks.
Would you rather hit those in bold?
Yes.
What are the main three metrics?
At least a 1 to 1.5% click-through rate, and then a view rate of at least 20%.
Sure. Is there anything else shopping if you're on that?
Now, lately, yeah.
Is view rates if they don't press skip?
Yeah, basically, on average, how many times someone watched the ad after they've been impressed by it?
So they watch the entire thing.
Now it's not the entire thing. It's basically like Google classified it as at least 30 seconds. So, 30 seconds is enough to hook them to tell more about the store. They viewed it, right?
Because most of our ads are 30 seconds while ago.
Yeah, 30 seconds to a minute. So,
And so maximum 80% of people have clicked skip ad.
say again.
Maximum 80% of people have skipped the ad.
Yeah, because you also want to disqualify most of people, right?
Yeah.
You want to talk to, well, you're, I'm just kidding.
Hello everyone.
It was right there, I had to. It was right there.
There's more granular metrics than.
But that's actually how you can make your ads convert better, is really being more specific like that, for sure. Yeah, because then you get a lot of chunk leads.
Can you get specific on, so for example, in Facebook, you can create custom variables to understand the thumb stock ratio. Can you get anything to that level on YouTube to understand, is it a batch created, is it the first pattern created, or is it the call to action at the end as to why the click-through rate is low? Or even just change the overall pages so you can tweak it or replace it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I just think about the advertising principles when it comes to creative, and think about what we right? Like, if you're gonna spend $1 on advertising and you want to test something, you spend 80 cents on the hook. It's usually always the hook. Powerful story to prove this. Dean Graziosi told me when I was working with him, I don't know if you guys have seen this infomercial. He had an infomercial with a late great interviewer. What was his name? Slick back hair, had overalls.
Stephen Hawking?
Nah, interviewer. He had that.
Charlie Ross.
Charlie Ross. Same era, but he just died recently. He had slick back hair, old guy, always crumbling.
Larry King.
Larry King. Why that name?
Yeah, all we got to do is just hunchback.
Yeah. That's how it worked. Larry King. You guys know who Larry King was, right? So this guy was world renowned for interviewing, and people recognized him all across the world for his show, right? Dean actually hired him to come out and do an ad with him to set up his infomercial, right? He brought out Larry King, got the same microphone as Larry King, set up the studio. It was as if it was Larry King's studio. And then the hook was Larry King saying, "I'm here with Dean Graziosi, a best-selling author, speaker, expert, whatever." That was like the hook, basically setting Dean up as this prolific figure before they go into the pitch of the Millionaire Success Habits book. Okay, that's the album we buy. So I ran that actually as a VSL. That was the VSL. Yeah, so I ran that as a VSL. It was a VSL, but that didn't work on the infomercial at first when he first tested it. And all he changed was he spent like, a couple 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 hours, how much it was, I can't remember it. This time now, it's like 3 hours, he told me, but he spent like a significant amount of money testing that infomercial, right? $20,000 minimum at least. And he's like, it's not working. The KPIs on the left weren't working, right? The revenue on the right wasn't where he needed to be. He clearly saw was the infomercial, right, the start of it. And so then he flew Larry David back out, but instead he started off the infomercial himself and he said, have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and thought, I just thought things would be different by now? Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and thought, I ought to be a lot further ahead by now? Is that a little bit more powerful than just saying, I'm here with industry best-selling author, Dean Graziosi? Mm-hmm. Haven't we all looked at ourselves in the mirror and thought, fuck, I should be farther ahead by now? Why? Why am I not there? That's everybody in this world, right, at one point in their life. That infomercial then took off just off that one sentence change alone.
goes back to the conversation in people's ads.
Yeah, or relatable. Again, it's not about him, it's about them, right? So we changed the look and
Was Larry just chilling in the back?
Yeah, he put that in the story part of it. A hook change. So then he went to the lyrics. Yeah.
Are you the guys that are behind the ad for V-Shed? You know, like.
Sorry, to answer your question, he had Larry King. I just thank you for saying that. He had Larry King do the hook.
Okay.
It wasn't Dee doing the hook because then it went to flow.
Yeah.
It was Larry King looking direct into the camera. Instead of setting up Dee, he says, "Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and thought, I thought I'd be farther ahead by now?" Right? That was the look that Larry King did, which made it more credible because it's Larry King saying it, and then he's setting up Dean as a story. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
A lot better, right?
Yeah, I was only like.
So again, to answer your question, right, it's usually just the hook. The story is the same, the offer is the same. It's always the same educational credibility problems you're solving. It's just what's going to get them to actually watch. What's the message that's going to resonate them? And again, you take that from the emails you've been writing for your clients that you have that are converting the best. You take that from your Facebook organic posts, anything that's already resonating, right? And you use that. So for our VSL, for example, that Jesus filmed with us, after hundreds of sales calls, right, close to 1,000, I was just like, the biggest problem these people have and the biggest fear they have is their Facebook ads account getting shut down. Because it's happened to everybody. And what happens if your business is relying on Facebook to get more leads and calls? You're kind of fucked, right? So our ad for our VSL, if you go on our website, adspend.com, you'll see are all your eggs in the Facebook basket? Right, well, if you're probably seeing someone and it's like, hey, are all your eggs in the Facebook basket? Well, if you're, I forget what the fuck, it's been so long now. I think
There's someone more and they follows the.
Yeah. We had Nick on our team who's the CEO. He basically drops his, follows, drops the eggs, and then the next line is. Yes. Where is in the Facebook basket? Well, it's like, oh, whoa.
Yeah. That's amazing. Like, remember what happened in 2008 when everyone had all of their money in real estate?
Yeah, so basically it's like, remember, it's like, you're probably thinking, yeah, these ads are making me money. Well, remember what happened in 2008 when everyone had all their money in real estate, and then he fucking breaks the eggs. You can see the charts going down, the economy collapsed, right? And then it's like, it may not have happened to you yet, but I guarantee you, one of your colleagues has seen email of death from Facebook. Your ad account has been suspended.
I'm done.
Yeah.
You're terrible at that.
So exactly, that's the whole, so we use that off of sales calls and we put that as the hook of our ad. And that became one of our best campaigns. Like people were just so afraid of getting banned by Facebook. The option is diversified with YouTube ads. This time you diversified your advertising portfolio with YouTube ads. Look. So, and then again, the language there is very specific. Diversified advertising portfolio. We're not talking to people that don't know those kind of words.
You know, stuff down to how we started customer on sound.
Yes.
Everything's more out.
Yeah.
You're filtering with Colorado. That's
Yeah.
what we do a lot with YouTube as well.
Would you say this is the fair statement that you had an hour's to write an ad? You spend the first 55 minutes understanding the person, and then 5 minutes writing it out.
I would spend 45 minutes writing or understanding the person, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, I would say 15 minutes on the hook, dude. Just a hook. But yeah, if I was basically what I'm trying to say is yes, I would spend a significant amount of time on the person, even and then the significant amount of time writing the ad, but just on the hook.
Yeah.
The rest would just be easy. No. Yeah.
Because you can almost kind of just go into the story and the close. Or you already kind of know that, don't you?
Yeah.
It's a particular thing that needs to be figured out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hook, it's just like the YouTube video, right? I was asking Thomas this earlier because obviously we're vlogging this entire experience so that way not only can we see it back, but you guys can see it back and see how fun this was as well. And we can share some top takeaways that we've learned from this video. But all I think about is the title and the thumbnail. I don't think about the content necessarily because I know it's going to be good, but it doesn't fucking matter if the content's good and they don't click.
Yeah.
Just like with the ad.
Yeah. So you can get most articles on how to, like, for you, the agency owner who's got some clients, but now you show them parcel to service delivery, start course. Like, what? Because it's a factor.
Yeah. Yeah, there's one way you can scale with way less headache, way less effort, and not have to worry about your MRR going down. And I'm actually going to show you what that looks like here in a minute, right? Can I have it work? Anyways, okay, cool. KPIs, we talked about that. Yeah, I mean, I can go into that more, but basically, most of us sell, leads, book calls, things like that. That's a lot of stuff that you guys control, but I think the creative strategy is probably the biggest thing. When it comes to targeting, you guys want to talk about targeting?
Frank, real quick.
Yeah.
So we run ads, we run YouTube ads for our clients. They basically do these things called one-day bathroom remodels, where it's like they convert us up to a shower for like 65-year-old woman.
Yeah.
And it's all financed and everything.
65-year-old woman.
That's like the yeah.
They convert a what? A bathtub?
Yeah, they basically, you have those in the UK, it's really popular, but it's obviously also really popular in the US. They basically have like a bathtub that's also a shower. So you can bath in your shower and shower.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they basically convert those into a walk-in shower, so that it's safer. You don't have to step over your bathtub and you trip and.
That's shot, mate.
Yeah.
Go back and turn that.
Exactly. So they basically call these one-day bathrooms, and they do it in a day, and it costs 15K, and they finance everything, and it's pretty cool. And we run YouTube ads for our clients, and this is what they do. But right now we're paying for all the ad spend and everything, and we're selling the leads. The problem is we are generating the leads for like $80 and we're selling them for 100. At what point would you say, like, you should be generating leads for $20 and selling them for 100? Because best case, we can probably only generate a lead for like $50 because it's like, we just don't see.
I think it's a bit like heavy ticket. Why don't you just sell them?
Because not all the leads, they don't convert them. Like, they only convert like 1 out of every 20 or something. Which is actually pretty good for them.
Yeah, that's like 2K.
Yeah.
That's like inbound marketing.
Yeah.
At least like how you want.
They don't mind paying 14%. So I'm just wondering, like, at what point do you say this is kind of silly to be at like 20% margins with leads? You know what I mean? Because I think the best that we would ever get is like $50, and that's if we let them actually hire leaders.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I would. Besides like the economics, how you can make it more profitable for yourself.
Yeah.
It always comes back to the creatives and creative testing.
So if we make the best creative in the world, I'm just assuming this, but I'm pretty sure we could bring it from $80 per lead.
And I would just do that. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
To $50 per lead.
I would just improve like creative, because you don't have to have a fancy production. Yeah. The best performing ads for them. The camera and studio.
Right, still with Ronnie such an every doc.
That's how I'm seeing. Yeah. The creative, dude. If you just refresh the creative and refresh the hook enough, you can get the CPL down. If you believe so. I don't know the market.
Like, even like $20, do you think it's like?
$20 would be tough, but I mean, everybody they have those in America too.
Yeah.
Like, we have old tubs still, and most new apartments are now walk-in.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's a big market still.
So it's fine to be selling leads for $100 if you're generating more profit.
Well, that's a question for you.
Yeah, okay.
And your business.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you can get the lead cost down, then it's going to be
Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay. So there isn't like a level where it's like, oh geez, the lowest you can get it to is like $60 per lead.
Well, like China, the ticket price is so high. But again, if it was your business, you got it.
Yeah.
What is a sell leads?
It's similar. Sometimes some of the guys sell them for like $60.
Why are you not using $22?
Because everyone, they're already very happy with all their Google Ads agencies.
You're selling leads on Google Ads.
Sorry?
You're selling leads, not Google Ads.
Yeah.
So why do they care what you use?
Because you can't do Google Ads agency.
Yeah, they'll messing for
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't have to put their brand.
No, but like Google knows, we tried that in the, yeah, I was like, we truly tried that and all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have YouTube ads remarketing to the traffic coming from the Google Ads agency. Yeah, so I would just work on the creative on the front end that you don't. And try not to.
Yeah. The leads are better from probably YouTube, but it's more expensive. But it's super some because the thing is, on that Friday comes around, we get to a good point. It's like you producing these for like $60, and then Black Friday comes and now we.
Man, if you did the creative idea that he said, That would work so well.
Yeah,
Someone, an older woman tripping over themselves and injuring them. Like, it's like the ad for, what was that thing where like, was it Life Alert? Where you have this like pendant upon, they were advertising the older people, it was really to the younger, but kids who were taking care of their family. When like the old person would fall and they would like, oh, I can't get up, I can't get up. It's the same thing, just follow that. But the answer, instead of this Life Alert thing you wear around, you know, is the new model, the Mastermind.
Yeah, okay.
That would work way better.
So a quick question about with books. Do you have like a creative director that throws in there when it's team, or do you like always go to the outside where you take notes from there? Is it the same framework packaged in a different way?
Yeah, the process stays the same, right? It's. I mean, Paige is going to talk about it. Well, with Israel as well.
It's really about like what is it called, fodder? The fraud or?
Yeah, it's a fodder, right? You want to have a bank of place you take inspiration from to make the ads. These are emails, these are Instagram posts, organic copy, YouTube videos, things that have worked well to get clients for the business already.
Yeah.
Because again, you got to prove that first before you go to ads.
But it goes back to like, you know, the avatar, right? Because everything that's already worked is language that's specifically like why they've already bought from you, you know, or thought about buying from you. But one of the most important things too is like showing versus telling in an ad, right? It's like, it's way more valuable for you to show somebody, right? Whether it's the dashboard, whether it's someone falling, whether it's whatever that outcome may be. Because you can give all the facts and like whatever, but it's like people buy based off of what they see.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and as well, one thing that we do in our agency, and you guys obviously can use this for years when you're doing videos or any ads, like whenever we onboard a client, we always have an offer packaging and positioning call with them.
Yeah.
We review their offer, we review their avatar information, we go deep on it with the client to understand how they view their clients and how their clients resonate with their message the most, to understand how they're going to best film the ad themselves and how they would say it. So we go from that call, then we write the scripts after that process, right? We have all the information now. Then once we write the scripts, we then hop on a script rehearsal coaching call with the client. We review the scripts with them. We read through the scripts with them. Jesus does now, I don't do it, thankfully. Because he's better at it. Yeah, and so he reads through the scripts with them, right, but copywriter as well. And then we edit anything on there that might not make sense for them. So by the time we're done with that script rehearsal coaching call, they know exactly what to say, they know exactly how to say it, they know exactly where to say it in terms of the setting. Now they just film. And they send the calls back to us and we just edit it in there. So it's all the upfront work.
right.
Fine. No. But we'll pull that don't. To the water. Fine.